Okay, let's unpack this. You will not believe the dream I had last night.
Oh, yeah. Do tell.
Seriously. I was piloting this gigantic pepperoni pizza through the clouds.
A pizza. Okay. Flying it?
Flying it. And then, get this, a talking cat pops up.
Naturally. A talking cat.
Yeah, and it looked really serious, like important, and it gives me this riddle.
A riddle from a cat on a flying pizza.
Right. Had to solve it before we could land, but the punchline, my alarm went off.
Ah, classic dream cliffhanger.
Totally. Just as I was about to shout the answer, it left me wondering, as it probably has you at some point, what on earth is the point of dreaming anyway?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It's this, universal nightly head trip we all experience.
Exactly. And what's fascinating is that while we all have these nocturnal adventures, the actual why, well, it remains one of the brain's big mysteries. From the really funny ones to the just plain weird, yeah, sometimes the scary ones too. Dreams are just a constant.
Exactly. So, in this deep dive, we're going to try and shed some light on that mystery for you.
Sounds good.
We'll start with, okay, what actually are dreams? Then we'll explore some of the big theories about why our brains cook up these nighttime stories.
Right.
And later, we'll look at how your own dreams might connect to your emotions, maybe even reveal something about your inner world. Okay, so let's get down to brass tacks then. What exactly are dreams? We know they happen when we're asleep, obviously, but is there a specific time? When are they most likely?
There is, actually. Dreams, especially the really vivid ones, the story-like ones you remember, they mostly happen during a stage called REM sleep.
REM sleep, right.
REM stands for rapid eye movement, and it's pretty descriptive.
Your eyes move around quickly under the eyelids.
Exactly. They dart back and forth. And what's really interesting is your brain activity during REM, it ramps way up.
Ramps up. How so?
Well, in some ways, the electrical signals look surprisingly similar to when you're awake and alert.
Wow. So bodies are resting, but our brains are buzzing, basically creating these whole worlds.
Pretty much, yeah. Elaborate dreamscapes, as you say.
But what's driving that? I mean, why bother? Why all the effort?
And that is the fundamental question. It's still a huge focus for scientists, but we do have some pretty solid theories.
Okay, like what?
Well, one major idea is about brain organization.
Right.
And memory consolidation.
Memory consolidation.
Think about it. Your brain takes in a ton of information all day long.
For sure. Overload sometimes.
So this theory suggests that during sleep, especially REM sleep and dreaming, your brain is maybe sorting through all that data.
Sorting. Like deciding what to keep.
Yeah. What's important to store long term, maybe what connections to strengthen, and what information is less crucial, may be okay to discard.
Like cleaning up your brain's desk after a busy day.
That's a great analogy. Performing essential maintenance, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's research on brain waves during REM sleep that seems to support this role in memory.
A nightly mental tidy-up. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, intuitively. What about other ideas? I've heard theories connecting dreams to, emotions.
Yes, absolutely. That's another really prominent perspective. Emotional processing.
So working through feelings from the day.
Precisely. The idea is that dreams give us a kind of safe space, symbolic stage, you could say, to experience and process intense emotions. Things like stress, anxiety, maybe even excitement or joy, but without the real-world impact.
So it's like a therapy session while you sleep.
Kind of, yeah, where you can grapple with feelings symbolically. It's usually not a literal replay, more like metaphors and symbols representing those feelings.
That's fascinating. A symbolic arena. Okay, now, what about those dreams that just keep coming back?
Recurring dreams.
Yeah. I sometimes still dream I'm late for an exam, and I mean, it's been decades since I was in school. What's that about?
Recurring dreams are often a sign that your brain is stuck on something, trying to work through an unresolved issue or maybe a persistent feeling.
Stuck on something? Like what?
Well, that exam dream, for instance. Being late, feeling unprepared, even years later, might be your subconscious mind.
My subconscious. The part working behind the scenes.
Exactly. That deeper level, outside your conscious awareness, it could be flagging ongoing pressures in your current life.
So, feelings of being unprepared for something now. Or facing deadlines.
Could be, yeah. Responsibilities, pressures. It's using the old exam scenario symbolically.
Wow. Okay, so maybe not about the actual exam at all. More a nudge about how I'm handling things today. That's definitely food for thought.
Makes you think, right?
Totally. And then there's the flip side. Nightmares. Ugh.
Yeah, the less pleasant side of dreaming.
What brings those on?
Nightmares usually stem from heightened stress or fear or sometimes even past trauma.
So daytime worries creeping into sleep.
Pretty much. If you're carrying a lot of anxiety during the day, it can unfortunately bubble up and manifest as these frightening dream scenarios at night.
It's like your anxieties find another way out.
Exactly. An outlet, but not a pleasant one.
That makes sense. So if Heimers are happening a lot, maybe that's a big red flag. Like, pay attention to your stress levels.
It can definitely be a strong indicator, yes.
Yeah.
A sign that maybe you need to address that underlying stress more directly.
Are there ways to, like, deal with them? Strategies?
Yes, a couple things can help. One is keeping a dream journal.
Writing them down.
Yeah, as soon as you wake up. It can help you spot patterns, understand the themes better, see what keeps coming up.
Okay. And the other?
Also, actively working on stress reduction during the day. Things like mindfulness, meditation, relaxation exercises, even just regular physical activity.
So calming the daytime mind might calm the nighttime one?
Often, yes. It can lead to fewer nightmares, or at least less intense ones.
Okay, dream journaling, stress management. Got it. Practical tips.
Yeah.
But what about the just plain weird ones?
Yes. The bizarre dreams.
Like my pizza flight, or, dreaming you're talking to a giant clock, or flying with purple elephants or whatever. Stuff that makes no sense.
Right.
Are those just random brain static? Meaningless?
And that's a really important point. Not every single dream has some deep hidden meaning you need to decode.
Oh, thank goodness.
Sometimes a really bizarre dream can simply be, well, your brain being creative.
Creative.
Yeah, or just processing random bits of information, memories, thoughts, in really unexpected combinations. The neural network's just firing in weird ways.
So sometimes it's just noise. Creative noise, maybe.
Could be. It's perfectly okay if you can't find a neat explanation for every dream you have. Don't feel pressured to analyze everything.
That's actually a relief. Takes the pressure off being a dream detective every morning.
Exactly. But you did mention looking for patterns earlier.
Right. Why is that important then, if not every dream is significant?
It's about the recurrence.
Yeah.
If you start noticing certain themes or emotions or scenarios popping up again and again, that's often where you might find more personal meaning. It signals something your brain keeps coming back to.
So like if someone keeps dreaming they're lost.
Exactly. Consistently dreaming about being lost or unable to find your way. It might be worth asking yourself, am I feeling a bit lost or uncertain in some area of my waking life right now?
Connecting the dream theme to real life feelings.
Yes. Or, going back to your lateness dream, if that kept happening week after week, it really might be your brain saying, hey, maybe look at your time management, or are you feeling overwhelmed by deadlines?
So focus on the recurring stuff, the patterns, not necessarily the one-off weird ones.
That's generally a more helpful approach, yes. Identifying motifs rather than getting bogged down in every single strange detail.
Okay, that clarifies things. Now, here's something I find really fascinating. Can dreams actually help us? Like with solving problems or sparking creativity?
Yes. The idea of dreams as problem solvers. There's definitely some compelling anecdotal evidence for that.
Anecdotal, like stories.
Yeah. The classic example is Dmitri Mendeleev.
The periodic table guy.
The very same.
Yeah.
He famously reported that the whole structure, how to organize the elements, came to him in a dream.
Wow, seriously.
That's the story. And Albert Einstein is another big name, often linked with getting insights or ideas from dreams.
So how would that even work? Our brains solving problems while we're out cold?
Well, the thinking is that the dream state, being a different kind of consciousness, might allow our brains to make connections, new links between ideas.
Yeah.
That we wouldn't necessarily make when we're awake and focused, logically.
So like thinking outside the box, because the box of waking logic is switched off.
Something like that, yeah. It might bypass our usual mental filters and habits, allowing for more novel combinations of thoughts.
So while we're sleeping, our brains might still be working on challenges in the background.
Potentially, yes.
Yeah.
Mulling things over, perhaps offering up solutions or perspectives we hadn't considered consciously.
And then maybe we wake up with that aha moment.
That's the fascinating possibility. Dreams could offer a fresh lens, a different angle, leading to new ideas when we wake up.
That's incredible to think about. Okay, just quickly, let's touch on a couple of terms people often hear. Dream interpretation and lucid dreaming. Can you give us a quick rundown?
Sure. Dream interpretation. Well, basically, it's the process of analyzing dreams, looking at the symbols, the themes, the story, and trying to figure out potential meanings. How might it connect to your waking life your subconscious thoughts. What might the dream be trying to tell you?
So trying to decode the messages.
In essence, yes. Exploring potential communication from your inner world.
And lucid dreaming, that sounds cool.
It is pretty cool. Lucid dreaming is when you actually become aware that you're dreaming while you're still dreaming.
You know it's a dream as it's happening.
Exactly. You realize, okay, this isn't real. I'm asleep. And what's really interesting is that some people, lucid dreamers, can sometimes even learn to influence or control what happens in the dream.
Whoa. So you can, like, direct the movie?
To some extent, yeah. Change the scene, decide to fly, talk to specific dream characters. It's a fascinating state of consciousness.
Okay, so interpretation is decoding, lucid dreaming is becoming aware, maybe even taking the wheel.
Got it.
Let's try and bring this all together for everyone listening.
Okay, so the main takeaway, I think, is that dreams, even the really weird ones, they seem to be much more than just random, meaningless sleep stories.
Absolutely. Not just brain static. They could be, like you said, the brain organizing memories.
Right, that mental tidy up.
Or processing emotions, that nightly therapy session idea.
Or even acting as signals, those recurring dreams nudging us about unresolved stuff.
Yeah, so maybe it's worth paying a bit more attention.
I think so. If you connect the dots, dedicating a little focus to your dream life, noticing those patterns, the feelings, the recurring themes, it could potentially unlock some really valuable insights.
Insights into yourself, your thoughts, feelings.
Exactly. Maybe even shedding light on those issues you're kind of wrestling with.
So the next time you find yourself on some bizarre adventure, maybe flying a pizza with a talking cat.
Or something equally strange, yeah.
Don't just, brush it off immediately. It might just be your brain trying to tell you something important, or at least interesting.
Worth considering, definitely. And hey, who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe one of these nights you will dream those winning lottery numbers.
Wouldn't that be something? Okay, well, thanks for taking this deep dive into the weird and wonderful world of dreams with us.